Des,
Dave.
how you doing?
Nick. I'm
Hey,
good.
back on friends.
How you guys doing today?
We're
Good.
we're doing awesome.
Good.
So, Dave, aka New Rocks from Bauhaus RC, RC four-wheel drive team, GCM tiny truck team, here with Des Mooney
Yep.
from Pitbull Tires,
Pitbull Tires, yeah.
and Nick Schwalik, aka
Helios RC, part of Bauhaus RC though.
Yep. We need to talk about tires again.
Again, every time we keep running into each other, we seem to do this more and more.
You keep coming out with new tires,
It's not my fault.
and I keep running into you in places
Yep.
where I need to drive those
Where you
tires.
need to drive them, right?
Yeah, so we are going to talk about these tires. These are the new Pitbull Rock Beast XLs,
1.9, yeah.
1.9 XLs.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about the tire.
Okay. Well, as you know, we've had the original 1.9 Rock Beast.
Yep.
It was
Yep.
4.4 inches tall, 1.7 inches wide, at 1.9 inches tall,
Yep.
or 1.9 wheel, sorry.
Yep.
It was done originally in our compound.
Yep. Now that tire, by the way, just so you know, I have Swamper XLs on this,
Mhm.
but the other tire I've got a lot of runtime with on this particular truck.
On this truck,
are the original
The one
Rock
Rock
Beast.
Beast.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
good. So
yeah,
you
yeah.
have an idea how they work.
Yeah, it's a great tire.
Okay,
It's a
so-
fantastic tire.
Yeah, so for years, people have been asking us, why did we make it so small, the original.
Right, right.
The original Rock Beast 1.9, we did scale off of the 44-inch Pitbull rocker, which it's one of our, in the one-to-one community, it's one of our most popular tires.
Sure.
And it's the reason why we kind of kept it at the scale height of a 44-inch tire. With the 1.9 wheel is as close to a 20-inch wheel as we could get it without actually making it a 2.0 wheel.
Right.
So, it was based off our 44-inch scale
Yep.
Pitbull rocker.
Yep.
For years, though, people have been asking why not taller? When are you going to do it taller?
Everybody always wants bigger.
That's it. And you guys have probably heard me saying tiny tires make better drivers. So it was kind of like one of those things we just kind of put off because the 1.9, the original Rock Beast, worked so good for so many years
Yeah.
that I didn't feel that we needed to do them any bigger for the simple fact of because they worked already.
Sure.
So why change something or break it if it's not fixed
Sure,
or if it
right.
doesn't need to be fixed?
Right.
Well, as you can see on the table here, we have the Voodoo KLRs and the Super Swamper XLs. A lot of other companies were coming out of the woodwork making a taller tire. Now our original tall 1.9 was the Pitbull Growler.
Right.
Proven tire, works awesome. That's honestly, personally still one
Sure.
of my favorite tires that we make.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was built for scale off of
Right.
our 47-inch Pitbull Growler,
Right.
which I run on my personal one-to-one truck. Partly the reason why it's still one of my favorite tires, but I mean the performance of them is great.
Yeah.
So it became time after seeing everybody else come to the table like Proline. They came together with their Super Swamper, and then they came out with the Flatiron XL, and Voodoo stepped up to the plate and made their KLR.
Right.
So a lot of other companies are coming out. RC four-wheel drive, as you know, they have a slew of tires at the 4.7 height max.
Yep. Baja Claws. Very
Baja
good tire.
Claws,
Yes,
the IROC SX,
Yeah.
just to
Yeah.
name a few of them that they have. So after seeing what everybody else brought to the table, it was kind of time for us to do the same thing.
Yeah.
The Rock Beast has always been our staple go-to tire. It's been our most popular seller,
Right.
especially in the 1.9 fashion.
Right.
So when we came to the plate with these, we decided we had to step them up. We couldn't just replicate into a taller version of it. We had to actually modify and change a few things. One of the things that people always complained about is how well they worked, but they didn't clean out that well.
Right.
My thought is, they kind of work when they're still caked up. So why do you need them to clean out?
They
if
do.
keep
Like
working?
I've never lost traction in those 1.9s.
Yeah.
Because
They could be caked up, baloney skin, and they still keep pulling lines.
Right. Right.
So with this tire, aside from making it 4.75 inches tall for a Class 2 spec height requirement, we did open up the tread block spacing
Right.
quite a bit over the factory, the original anyway. I believe it's about 17 to 20% more tread block spacing as opposed to the original 1.9.
Right. Right.
So that enables them to clean out so much better, but they still work when they're caked up with mud,
Yeah.
and
Oh, yeah.
as you guys got to witness today with your real world testing of
Well, these tires, so these were on Nick's truck for a while,
Yeah.
and then on my truck,
Yep.
and they're still halfway caked
they're still
with mud,
completely coated.
and they were hooking up in
Yeah.
all sorts of places. So,
Yep.
so you went up to the 4.75.
Yep.
Now, two other things about this tire that really that stand out. One is the the Alien Compound.
Alien Compound.
Yeah.
That's our stickiest of the stickiest sticky.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we had a chance to play around with those on the PBX 18
Oh, the
hard
18s,
course,
right, yeah, absolutely.
And we actually caught some footage of you in the
Yeah,
creek
yeah.
pulling some fun lines
Yeah,
while
well,
we were
you
playing
guys
around
were
with these.
testing
Yeah.
these,
And we've done some videos on those. That compound is insane,
phenomenal, yeah.
and it works great on a tire that doesn't have these kinds of
Yeah,
chunky
not
bugs.
as aggressive,
Right.
yeah.
So you got the Alien Compound going,
Yep.
and then also you guys have started making your own foams.
Foam production, yeah,
Yeah. So talk a little bit about the foams, because
Okay.
these are running stock foams.
Stock foams.
In the past, the
Yep.
word was, hey, if you were going to get the Rock Beast 1.9s,
Throw
you
out
got
the stock foam.
throw out the stock foams and
Yep.
get a set of CI,
Right.
two
Two
stage foams,
stage,
right?
yeah,
And same thing with the Swampers. You got to
Yeah.
get the
Pretty much every tire, like
Right.
most tire companies, I've noticed in dealing, experiences, I've been in the hobby for quite some time, so, I've dealt with various manufacturer tires prior to, being on board with Pitbull, for the last 7 years now, but I dealt with having to purchase additional foams from, a different vendor, supplier, Pro Innovations, or, back in the day, there were so many different foam vendors. But now it's, Eddie's pretty much cornered the market. So it's just one of those things where, listen, we have the advanced technology.
Sure.
We have the advancements in our production, in our research and development. So it was kind of a natural procession, so to speak,
Sure.
For us to move forward with progression.
Right.
And so my boss and I, Michael, we decided that, now's the time to really start upping our game. And by coming out, we did it. This is our third offering in the foam market for
Right.
our tires. Originally, it was in the 40 Series XL Rock Beast.
Right.
Then we also did the 1.9 All-Terrain PBX Hardcore.
Right.
And now in the Rock Beast XL. What we did here for this one, we used a standard single-stage foam. I'm not going to get into specifics with our recipe in terms of the density
Sure.
of the foam.
Sure.
However, this is a near 9-pound rig,
Yep.
and you can see how it's sitting here on the table with zero deflection in the carcass.
Yeah. So let's talk about that weight for a second, because
Okay.
that's one of the things that amazed me about the hardcore. So you've been running them in your truck, which weighs about how much?
My Power
Your
Wagon?
Power Wagon.
I'd say it's maybe 6.5 pounds.
6.5 pounds.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
So
Ready
my
to run
when we got together at Blue Rocks,
Mhm.
the GCM Skeleton China Jeep, the JK.
Yeah.
That one comes in around 7.5, 8 pounds.
Sure.
And then you saw the video of me running them on my D90, and you
D90.
actually had a chance to play
got
with
to
them
play
on the
with the
D90,
D90 today.
which is a 10.5 pound truck,
Yeah,
right?
that was pretty epic.
So
this
any-
is actually a tad bit lighter,
Right.
running a little bit of a taller tire, so.
So on that tire, they range from 6 to 10.5 pounds
It's-
with stock foams, no problems.
These are exactly the same.
So this is a 9-pound
It's not the exact same foam, but the same premise with this
Right.
foam. Like we've had our testers, like from, our team drivers from U4 racing to competition-based scale crawling to just, scale trailing and bashing. And, we've had it used in so many different applications in different weighted rigs, all the way from a sub 5-pound rig all the way up to a near 12-pound class 3 scaler.
Right.
Which Tim Warpig Samuels runs out on the Pacific Northwest.
Right.
And, general consensus across the board, even with our drivers running U4, Gene Boyd, Mike Duncan, just name a few of the guys that have them for our U4 racing, and they're all running them with great success as well.
Yeah.
In the race application, plus when they go to the park and crawl with their friends, they're still getting the same maximum performance out of the same foam.
Yeah.
So, honestly, it was one of the biggest gripes from people, like dealing with the emails through customer service and stuff. A lot of people had issues with the price of the Rock Beast XL, but we've advanced the technology of it, we've made a better product, and we've included it with now single-stage foam that now you don't have anyone, to go shopping anywhere else. We've sustained it by making a one-stop shopping now.
I can tell you with the hardcores, having tried them out on multiple rigs
Mhm.
with a big swing and weight, you really don't need to change the foams. Run these things with the stock foams, they're going to do great.
Yeah.
So now Voodoo, they've got their own foams, and you're running the Voodoo foams in your tires, right?
Yep. So this truck, this is my SCX-10. I'm running Voodoo KLRs in their softest compound, and they're very nice tires.
Yeah.
I've actually run these tires quite a bit.
Mhm.
I've run the TSLs. I've run Pitbull Mad Beasts. I've
Sure.
run, what else have I run? Some 1.9 Ripsaws
Okay.
for fun.
Sure.
And also trenchers, not trenchers, Trepidors.
Oh, the trips, yeah.
Yeah, and the R35 Treps pretty much look like these,
Sure.
but cut. However, so comparing the two, you know, there's a lot of interesting things, but these do have the stock foams. One thing that you probably need to be aware of is, you know, when you vent your tires, this tire I noticed wasn't vented.
No, I don't
And-
vent any of my Scalar tires.
And when I drove it, it was kind of a weird feeling for me initially because I'm not used to that. I'm expecting the tire to be able to vent all the air out. What I do like about that is it doesn't fill with water, and you have to squeeze the tires,
Yeah.
squeeze all the water out of the tires when you're done running.
Right. So, and a couple things that you had commented on when we were out playing were the fact that the Voodoos don't clear out as easily as these XLs do.
Yeah. One thing I noticed when I was running is with the Voodoos, when they're wet, when they go from wet to rock, the transition is very nice and easy. But when they go from muddy to rock, you have to really get on it to get the material out.
Sure.
What I noticed with the Rock Beast XLs was even when they had some mud and dirt still in them, they still stuck to the rock very well, and I didn't have to clean them out as much.
Sure.
But when they did clean out, coming out of the water or coming out of the mud, and you really got on it, the bigger spacing here in the lugs really helped them clean out.
Yeah.
And I like that. You may not need it. You may not need them to clean out, but you know what? I feel like they should clean out. That's
Sure.
just something I feel like they should have.
And that's one of the reasons why we modified the tread spacing, you know, just because it was kind of a thorn in some people's sides.
Right.
You know, as you're saying, you don't necessarily know if you need it, but it's nice to have it, you know.
Right.
I've noticed even just from running it here this weekend in the comp settings, like there was so much to be said about them performance-wise, you know, they still astonish me every time I go out with them, like hands down.
So another, yeah, it's funny because you talk about the pure performance on the side hilling. Another thing that you noticed was just the way that they held the sidewall.
On the side hill, it was a very reassuring, confidence-building feeling.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know, I've driven the old Rock Beasts. I actually drove those through an entire Axial Fest and an entire season, and they were like that but better.
Yeah.
It was like regular Rock Beast with more.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and the foams. You know, I was on a very steep incline, and on a lot of tires, I'm worried about turning
push.
uphill
Yeah.
because the tire folds over.
Right, you get that push.
This isn't a very heavy rig. It's only about 6.5 pounds, and there was no rollover at all.
Yeah.
And even on a side hilling on loose dirt, we were able to get some good bite and still make
Still
that
pull
turn.
on, sure.
So this rig's about 2 pounds heavier, and one of the first places that I took this truck with the XLs was the last climb up to what was gate 10 on course number 2. So yesterday, class 2, I cleared 29 to 30 gates on the 3 courses. The one gate I couldn't clear with the Swamper XLs was gate 10, which was up a very slick, kind of half mossy, but really kind of slicked out rock. And so I actually took this truck, same truck, with the XLs, and if I had the XLs yesterday, I would have cleared
all 30.
the problems. And I didn't have enough time. When I got to that gate, I only had about 15 or 20 seconds. It took me about 3 seconds to get up with the XLs. In the 20 seconds or so that I had, not enough time to winch, I couldn't get up there
Wow.
with the Swampers.
Wow.
So it was a huge difference. And actually, we wanted to get some video of it, and it looked so easy on the video. It actually it doesn't even look that good on the video because
Listen,
these tires made them look so easy.
I'm sorry?
But then what I decided to do is I decided to actually take that same rock,
Sure.
and actually when you came down, we did that.
Yeah.
We took that same rock, came downhill, and then
Side
hilled it.
Sure.
And these Rock Beast XLs held their line
Yeah.
on a full walk with these NC60 axles, so it's right
Yeah.
zero.
Oh, yeah,
you know
yeah,
what those
yeah,
are
I
like,
got
right?
it. I
You've
got
got
it
them
here,
on
yeah.
your truggy.
Yeah.
Nick has them on his Ram, and so a really tight, sharp turn into a side hill.
Sure.
And
Still maintain that full control all the way through it.
the sidewalls don't give, and the tires just don't
Yeah.
slip.
Well, we do, you know, obviously we did put sidewall support into them. We have internal ribbing.
Right.
We've also come a little bit further advancement with what's known as zip track technology, which is stuff that we've also enhanced most of our tires with. And we've been using it for quite some time now, but it was something that we learned through racing,
Uh-huh.
through like drag racing and like NASCAR type stuff. It's something that they use in the designs of their Go Fast tires.
Right.
It's something that prevents deflection.
Uh-huh.
So like under a high speed load, for the U4 racing, like the guys, they mostly vent their wheels there because they need to have all that impact in the tire.
Right.
When
right.
they hit a rock at
Right.
30 miles an
Right,
hour,
right,
or
yeah,
whatever.
exactly,
So
exactly.
they need that give. So we did have to strengthen up some of the sidewall, especially with using a softer compound. We definitely did. We added a couple modifications to the sidewall, but as you saw, it definitely was a beneficial addition to the tire itself. Like it really did. The whole, this is definitely probably one of our grail tires, so to speak, because it's such an advancement from the original 1.9 Rock Beast to what we've done with this one now. This is still a proven tire. There was guys here killing it this weekend running them.
Right, yeah,
Still
well,
the
that's
original
right,
1.9
sure.
Rock Beast. They
Yeah.
were still dominating the field with them. But
But I can tell you from having run the 1.9 Rock Beast, the original ones,
Mhm.
on this truck
Sure.
for probably over a year, and comparing to the XLs, it's not a comparison. And
No.
as good as a tire as the original
yeah,
was.
it's not even a comparable
Yeah.
tire anymore. Like this is just leaps and bounds ahead of the original one. That's one of the things. That's one of the reasons why we kind of dubbed it the game over tire,
Mhm.
because there's not to name names or point elbows or fingers at any other
Right.
competitors or other team drivers. One of the reasons that sparked it was because I had seen an ad of a competitor's tire that had come out, and the hashtag was game changer.
Right.
Well, that was right around the time that we started the development of the 1.9 XL. That's where the game over came from.
Yeah.
Because like I don't want to change the game. I want to end it.
Right. right.
Like total domination.
Well,
like
if I know one thing about you, Des,
Mhm.
I know you're not done.
no, we're not
You're not
done.
done.
No,
So I'm
not even close.
I'm gonna make some requests.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
These foams
Sure.
are really fantastic.
Yes.
So you need to just start putting these in all your tires.
Which is one of the things that we've already decided we're going to do.
Yeah.
That's a no-brainer because of the success that we've had with the 3 models that we've done so far. We have a 2.2 version of the PBX AT that's coming out. We've already designed a foam for that, specifically for that tire. We have a couple other offerings that are coming out very soon that's going to keep the tiny truck guys super, super happy.
Because you know that at heart,
Yes.
as much as I have fun
With
riding my
the
Class
big
2s,
tires,
I'm
sure.
really a
Yeah.
tiny truck guy.
I
right?
love the tiny tires
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
They make better drivers.
Absolutely.
So like the next offering that we have for the tiny truck guys, Class 1 is going to be very changed.
Yeah.
Very changed. Like by first things first, starting with PBX AT, our 155 Growler was an awesome offering for the Class 1.
It's a great Class 1 truck, but here's the thing. As much as I love that tire,
Yeah.
on most of the really cool hard bodies,
Got to trim out.
you gotta trim out.
Yeah, the
And
wheel
if you
well.
want to go with that stock look,
Yeah, right. You got to
you need
go
something a little smaller.
smaller.
A little smaller.
Yeah.
So-
I'm not going to get into particulars, but it's going to be floating around the 3.85 range.
Yep.
So it's going to be a pretty good killer.
Yep.
I'm assuming.
And then I'm gonna need some of those foams to go in some of my other
Of
pit bull
course.
tires.
Well-
so I'm just saying, just
Keep-
a little birdie in your ear. Just,
Right.
yeah,
Of course. Yeah. Well,
sell us some foams.
with relatively good confidence, I can tell you that there's a very, 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 very good possibility that there will be foams.
There'll be foams,
Yeah.
right, which I think will be fantastic.
Right.
Des, cannot thank you enough.
Yeah, I'm
for-
glad you guys got to have a real world test with them. I'm looking forward to seeing all the video footage that you guys have obtained.
Yeah.
Even with the quick little, my quick little stint behind the wheel of your truck.
Yeah.
I would love to see all that compiled.
You
into
did
a
okay.
video. I did okay.
You did
My
okay.
first time behind the wheel of that thing, I felt like I
And
handled
not a
things
bad
all
truck, right?
No, it's a fun truck.
Yeah, and I did
I wish I
okay.
had more time on mine.
Yeah.
That's my only
You shouldn't have
regret.
let him bully you out of running them.
That's my only regret
Well-
today, is that
well,
I didn't
we-
get to run them long enough.
We will, in addition to the footage that you guys have had a chance to see while watching this video,
Yep.
we'll be releasing some other video
Cool.
that we
I
were
look
able to
forward
get
to
in
it.
our test.
Yeah.
But what we can tell you, what Nick and I can tell you, since we don't get paid to do this, you get paid to do this, right? So nobody
Sort
will
of,
actually
yeah.
pay attention to
Yeah.
you. Is that this new Pitbull Rock Beast 1.9 XL tire is for real. It is absolutely for real. It is a fantastic performer. They look great. It will handle with stock foams a range anywhere from This one came in at 8.94 pounds without battery,
8.94,
right?
yeah.
And down to 6 pounds and somewhere in between with the stock foams. They absolutely perform great, and we absolutely cannot wait to get our hands on.
I'll make sure you guys get them.
Yeah, and also the other stuff that you guys got coming out, because
Yeah.
I know if it's anywhere near what the hardcores have been and what these XLs are, they're going to be some fantastic.
Yeah, we have a bunch of good things coming down the pipes, man. Bunch of really good things, yeah. We have quite a good range of stuff going on.
That's great. We're excited for it.
Yeah, us too.
Hey, Des,
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Dave.
much.
Thank
Really
you,
appreciate
Nick.
it.
Thank you very
and
much.
we're going to
Appreciate
have
it.
to do this again.
Yeah, I look forward to it.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Cool.
Take care,
Thumbs
everybody.
up. Tiny
Good.
Trucks.